Matt, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
He doesn't even know, so, alright.
It's my first day, leave me alone.
We were out here recently for a toilet that wasn't working, so we found that the trip lever was bad. The grooves inside the handle aren't properly working anymore. It's stripped out over time. We also quoted her some rebuilding of the toilet as well. Gave her the option on that, which she decided to do. So we're doing the trip lever, fill valve, a flapper, and a supply tube. Get the toilet back up and running, and basically pretty much like new. So stay tuned. See how much better that works? Wow, I love it. So a fill valve fills from two spots. Water comes out of the bottom here, which fills the tank, and then you have your tube here, which fills into your overflow tube, which goes into the bowl. So this, if we leave it wide open, is gonna add too much water to the bowl where you're wasting it. So it gives this little key here, so we shut the valve off all the way. We take our key, find whatever one they told us in the book, we line it up, and we open it to that setting as such. So that's all. We make that work like that. That becomes garbage afterwards, but now we're gonna tighten this down. So what's that in your hand?
This is the supply for the fill valve. It goes from the shut-off valve to the fill valve in the toilet.
Hey guys, this is George. I totally forgot to introduce Matt. He's the new plumbing apprentice. He's a really cool guy, and he'll be in future content. All right, now back to the video.
The arrow setting is going to adjust how many holes you have. When you have it wide open as such, your flapper is going to open and close because basically air comes in and comes right out. So it just drops right back down. By adjusting this, it's basically like having a float on it. And what'll happen is it'll hold it up longer. If you have it completely closed, like such, then it's going to come up, stay up until the entire tank's drained. Some toilets only have one hole directly in the bottom, but this one needs to have a certain setting so that it flushes right. So you can't take a flapper that's supposed to have a float and put one in that doesn't. It won't flush properly. It'll double flush, triple flush, whatever it is, and vice versa. If it's supposed to have without a float and you put a float on there, then it's not gonna work right. So it holds our clip to the overflow tube, which is basically adding our water to the tank. So that holds it in place. So this way the water goes into that tube and into the bowl. So we're gonna go ahead and test this out. We want to cut away our excess chain, otherwise that can cause it to get stuck. So we're just going to leave some there for adjustment, but just cut that off. I'll hand you this back. And I believe that is it. So I always throw a little toilet paper in there. I just test it out and make sure it's working properly, which it is. So that is pretty much that. She is back up and running. Before this trip lever here, when I would push up on it, it was skipping, so this wasn't actually lifting properly. We also went with a rebuild to replace those parts as well, so that everything's pretty much new for her and she's back up and running. So that'll do it. We're just gonna put some notes in here that we rebuilt it. That's that.
We came over here, she was having a problem with her toilet, so we rebuilt the toilet. We put a new fill valve, a new handle, and a new flapper. Set the correct levels of the water, everything, tank, bowl, and no leaks tested, and it's all good.